they said I could never talk good sports radio.
What you talking about, Will?
But I told them,
frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
So I found out.
It's a transmitter. It's a radio for speaking.
So I saw the light talking sports radio.
I have seen the light!
So I thought about starting Rev T Sports Revival.
By George, he's got it. By George, he's got it.
People are saying,
you can see how you have progressed in the show, and I'll tell you what, man, it shows. I mean, it totally shows.
And our callers are saying this.
Right, man, what you think about the Rev T Sports Revival?
Oh, no. The show seems really good. You seem like you have a lot of fun. This is why I called in, and you both know your sport. So it's always fun talking to people that know their sports. That's why I like to call in whenever I get a chance.
And after I introduce my guests, they say,
for that big intro, I don't know whether to make you my agent or have you call my mom.
Our guests are saying this.
Your broadcast always edifies, and y'all were inspirational. You're unselfish. You don't whitewash anything. You deal with the real problems and issues, whether they popular or unpopular.
And they saying, I'm sounding like this great legend that had a mouthpiece in the radio business.
Man, you talking sports over there like T.D. Green, man. That's what I like about Rev T Sports Revival.
But most of all, this.
Hey, Fred, what you think about the Rev T Sports Revival?
Hey, when you tell them, Rev T, if they ears ain't used to great talk radio, they need to adjust. Because at the end of the day, being different ain't being wrong. It's just being who you are. If they scared to be who they are, they probably shouldn't be listening to your show anyway.
Why tweet about it when you could talk about it on the Rev T Sports Revival? Believe that, baby. March with me.
Network Radio.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready? Your mind is word, and your heart is James. A little bit trouble, but right here live on Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV, right here on the Sports Revival. We about to get your mind revitalized. So I want you to lace your boots up. I want you to strap them up real tight, and come on and march with me. We live right here, y'all. It's the Rev T Sports Revival. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go. Ow! Give it a top now. Share the post. Go share the post. Good morning. I'll see y'all. Let's go. Let's go. The revival is open. One more time. Ow! Man, I tell it to the hot, I'll tell it to the cold. You got to come to the Sports Revival to fill up your soul with all that good sports talk. Man, good morning to the people all over the land. I'm Tavon Fennell at the Real Rev T. So glad to be here with the people to talk a little bit of sports. Y'all know what it is. Washington Redskins, they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles last night. 34-24 was their final score, if I'm correct. Y'all upset. Y'all mad. Where my RG3 lovers at? Where they at? Because you know that they out. Huh? And at the end of the day, the Washington Redskins, they lost to a good team. A good team. And the Washington Redskins injuries have caught up with that team. But I know some of you want to go down the alleys of Terrell Pryor. I dig it. I dig it. I know some of you want to go down the alleys of
for $25 million, you need to go out there and let's talk about it for what it is, man. Let's talk about it. See, this is the sports revival. And if you ever been to a revival before ever in your life, then you understand what's happening here. See, I want to be careful, and I want you to understand me in my rhetoric this morning as I talk to the soldiers and the soldierettes out there marching in and tuning in to the sports revival. Our first thing I want y'all to do is make sure you go share the post. That's the first thing that got to get done here. Because, see, this is something that needs to be addressed. This is something that needs to be heard from the young to the old, to the blind that cannot see, and to the ones who are speaking of as they see the light. But as in all actuality, is there really a light? We talking about Monday night underneath the bright lights. The Washington Redskins had to go up to Philadelphia. They had a check in their hand and they had to cash it. But before I go into my rhetoric of the day, before we go deep into the sports revival, we always got to acknowledge the presence of the people that are in the building this morning. First of all, we want to say good morning to Big Brother Richard in the Wilson tribe. Good morning to you, Big Brother. Big Brother Chris Young, y'all. That's DMV Finance up in the building, my brother and friend. So glad to see you. Robert Spence, we see you, champ. I know your mind is weary this morning and your heart is, a little bit troubled, but still HTTR. Good morning to Big Brother Dion Dante Bracy. Good morning, man. Big Brother Watson Van Devil, we see you, champ. Good morning to you. Dion Dante Bracy, he say, good morning, Rev. He say, sick of these fake ass Skins fans saying it's Kurt's fault. Well, we were out coached, poor tackling, and a few reasons, and injuries didn't help it. Couldn't be a lot worse, and let's go Wizards. That's coming from Dion Dante Bracy this morning. And good morning to Stephen Atkins, y'all, the Inside Blitz. Got a good show coming for the people this week. Special guest coming to the show. Follow him at the Inside_Blitz. He up in the building, y'all. Stephen Atkins, y'all. James Williams, good morning to you. James Williams Jr., good morning to you, champ. AJ Vaz, man, good morning to you, man. Good morning to the lovely Tuna Smith. We see you, mama. HTTR, you know what, Rev, you always a superstar, mama. Good morning to you. And big brother Richie Rich, Richie, where was you at? Why weren't you at homecoming? Yeah, and good morning, man, to my sister right there, y'all. Y'all put y'all hands together. She up in the building with us this morning. The lovely Levita Sterling, man. That's my sister right there in the atmosphere, man. Her and Big Ron, my family, man. Ron Bond, superstars, wherever y'all are. Love y'all so much, man. Stephen Atkins say, it's on Jay Gruden. He needs to be released into the atmosphere. Well, Stephen Atkins, you know, you got a telephone. You already know what to do. Ain't you part of Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV? Call them up and tell them what you want. See, this is the sports revival. And I got to keep saying this because, see, you got to lay down your burdens down by the riverside right here, right now, in this place, because tomorrow we got to get ready and focus on Dallas. Good morning to big brother Michael Underwood down there in Florida, man. Mike, I got to get up with you this week. I got something for you, champ. And you know what I'm talking about on the back end, like chinny cha 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 cha. Yeah, man. Big brother AJ Vaz say, sorry, Dion, but Kirk is at a point where he needs to elevate this team. You want elite money? You got to play elite. This is prime time. Kirk is still missing open receivers. Missed the wide open Doxton in the end zone. These guys has got to start winning games on elite level. He is the vet and leader next to Trent on his team. At times, he still plays like a game manager. Fact. That's coming from AJ Valise. We're replying to DR. I want y'all to get your minds revitalized. It's open up. 703-763-4979 is the number. You want to call in, have your voice be heard, or why tweet about it? Why post about it when you can talk about it right here on the Sports Survivor? Good morning to Big Brother Chuck Lowry Sr. We see you, champ. Make sure you go share the post with the people. You let them know we live here, y'all. Good morning to Big Brother Victor Belt, man. So glad you tuned in with us right here on the Sports Survivor. You know, I mean, let's talk about this thing, y'all. A lot of injuries went down. And first things first. Let's address this thing off the top. Can we? Well, let's talk about Terrell Pryor. Y'all ready? I don't want to take a break right now. I don't want to take a break. I don't want to go into a break right now. I want to put this out on the money. Let's talk about Terrell Pryor. And if you've been listening, to the Sports Revival, if you've been following me over the season from training camp, you would not be surprised, you would not be hurt, you would not be rattled about what you seeing coming from Terrell Pryor. Now understand this. This is not to say Terrell Pryor is not a good receiver in the making. No. This is not to say that Terrell Pryor can't really catch the ball. Well, me personally, I think Terrell Pryor has the ghost of Carlos on his shoulders. And if you a true Washington Redskin fan, when I say the ghost of Carlos, then you already know what I'm speaking of. Can't hold the ball in his hands. And the same spirit that jumped in Carlos Rogers' body back in the day, I don't give a damn if he was a cornerback. At the end of the day, he couldn't hold on to the ball. Good morning to Big Brother Ken Hug Marshall, man. We see you, champ, tuning in. Good morning to you. Y'all go share the post. Go share the post. Go share the post. 703-763-4979 is the number. I want y'all to get your minds revitalized. I want you to lay your burdens down by the riverside today, because tomorrow you can't turn back and talk about what happened in Philadelphia last night. You got to move forward and get ready to start worrying about Dallas. Good morning to Big Brother Molly Moore tuning in. Good morning to Big Brother Jason Hester tuning in. Share the post. Share the post with the people. But at the end of the day, though, this thing with Terrell Pryor is possessed by the ghost that hosted God Carlos. And at the end of the day, Terrell Pryor, he got to go get some type of concoction, some shagalaga, some udaba, to get this possession that he got in his body out of his hands. Somebody go post a video of that girlfriend throwing the football to him, and then you tell me you belong in the NFL being a wide receiver. Somebody go out to the park and just record them catching passes and say you belong in this league. It don't work like that, champ. And I told y'all, if you've been following the Sports Revival, if you've been lacing your boots up and not believing the hype that, oh, he just over there hollering and screaming. No. I've been here on the Sports Revival talking damn good sports to the people, informing you, warning you about things that was going to happen, things that was yet to come. And some of y'all said I was crazy about this. But I told y'all, because the goose was good in Cleveland, Guess what? That don't mean that the gander was going to show up here in Washington when it came to Terrell Pryor. See, I know some of y'all might not want to hear this. You think because you give somebody $8 million that that's the savior. That's the, and hold on, wait a minute before I go on, because I know somebody gonna say this. We shouldn't have let Pierre go. We shouldn't have let Deshaun Jackson go. Well, they decided to leave on their own. So let's not talk about what then left here. They done left here on their own. And if you really was know what's going on down in Tampa Bay, guess what? Deshaun, he ain't so much Jackson happy. If you really want to know what's going on down in Tampa Bay, guess what? Chris sure enough ain't no baker. Because every cake he put in the oven down there, guess what? They done said, you got to go try them ingredients and make another cake again. And he found himself getting less playing time with the Washington Redskins, saying I should have stayed here on in the back of his mind. So I don't want to hear about the we should have held on. We shouldn't have let nobody go. They had a choice to make. But we talking about Terrell Pryor right now, right here in this place. And at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done for, the Washington Redskins, when it comes to these wide receivers, they in the state, they in the midst of confusion. But now, this is where I got to give you what a TI is about Kirk Cousins. This is where I got to be realistic about Kirk Cousins. See, this is where the people, when they say $25 million, is he worth it? This is where I get to a yes factor, and this is where I get to a no factor. A yes factor because you know Kirk Cousins going to go out there and get some yards for you. You know that. You know Kirk Cousins on a good day, he can light the field up. You know on a good day, you guaranteed to win a game with Kirk Cousins. But here's the flip side of this thing right here. The flip side of it. Kirk Cousins need to develop some balls. Y'all heard it. I said it just like that. Kirk Cousins needs to develop some balls. And at some points, and at some times in the games, Kirk Cousins need to grab his balls and everything that Dre Gruden and whoever the hell else they saying calling plays down for the Redskins, he need to block that out and look at that line of scrimmage. And when he look up across it and he read that defense and he say, you know what? This play that they just told me to run, this play I just put in the huddle, it ain't going to work for what I see here. Let me change it up real quick at the line of scrimmage. And until I see Kirk Cousins really put his left in front of his right and then hold his balls, then I say he doesn't deserve the $25 million. But I still say, and I stand on this, the man deserves a long-term contract with the Washington Redskins. And at the end of the day, I know, and this is for the RG3 lovers, at the end of the day, 30 for 40 passing, guess what? That's pretty damn good. especially when you got wide receivers dropping passes. Okay? So at the end of the day, the RG3 lovers, stop. That's why RG3 still can't get into the parking lot league. Okay? Not even equation. But then you look at this Russian. The Russian. Who is the premier running back for the Washington Redskins? And I know some of y'all say, well, Chris Thompson is, but no. Chris Thompson's not getting that starting running back touches. Rob Kelly only had 7 carries for 16 damn yards last night. And I said, damn, 16 damn yards. Sorry. Kirk Cousins ran for 3 attempts and had 18 yards, more than Rob Kelly. Chris Thompson was 7 for 38. And all in all, when you look at that and you take away Kirk Cousins out that equation running the ball, the Washington Redskins only ran the ball 14 times for less than, 60 yards? Without Cousins in the equation? Maybe 80? 17, 18 carries as a team, as a whole. When Philadelphia, Blunt, he had 14 carries alone, regardless if it was 29 yards, but they was feeding him the ball. (703-763-4979) is the number. Y'all want to get your mind revitalized? I encourage you to call in. Call in and lay down your burdens down by the riverside. Call in and testify. If you happy, you happy. If you sad, you sad. But at the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, come tomorrow, come Wednesday morning, when you rise through the morning sunshine and you a Washington Redskin fan, then you should have nobody, no thoughts but the Dallas Cowboys on your mind. We can sit there and talk about this thing with the offense all day long. The coulda, woulda, shouldas. But one thing that stands out to me is the inability of these wide receivers to know where the damn third down marker is. Ryan Grant, Jamison Crowder, even Jordan Reed. See, let's talk about it for what a T.I. is, man. Let's talk about it what it is. You know? Good morning to L Dub. We see you, champ. Good morning, Jerry Sutton. We see you, champ. Vinny's better, man. Get off my page, man, with that crazy stuff. I'm gonna delete that when I get off. That Bama. Albert Leon Cross Sr. Good morning, champ. Good morning to you. And the thing is, AJ Val say that's actual fact spot on. He deserves, if he can do what he said and learn to switch up the clause by reading the defense, Rev. Exactly. Sean, good morning to you, man. Good morning to you. Jerry Sutton say, preach, brother. Kurt played tight when the play breaks down. Every time we play Philly, they blitz the same way. In the middle is wide open. Kurt has to audible out the play for us, Rev. Exactly. They got to stop running plays that Jordan Reed has to block, too. He's not a blocker. Man, that's a good point, Mike Underwood, and I was just about to talk about that thing with Jordan Reed blocking, you know. And so at the end of the day, you know, when it comes down to it, when you really look at the scenario of this thing, the landscape, you know, Why hasn't Jeremy Sprinkle been really activated this season? Why is it, if you're going to keep Niles Paul on the roster, then why you not out there using him in blocking packages up on the line? Why is Vernon Davis not out there blocking people? Because you're absolutely right, Michael Underwood. I saw Jordan Reed just say, hell, man, go ahead and get Kirk Cousins. And you know, you might can blame some of the fact that maybe he going through that nagging toe injury, but really can't plant his feet to stand up right for blocking. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, though, Jordan Reed, though, man, you can't be out here catching touchdowns. You can't be out here catching passes, and you can't block. Did I just say that? The Washington Redskins wide receivers and the tight ends, they can't block. They're not a good run blocking team. And I know some of y'all may not want to hear that. Some of y'all may not want to hear that. And even I was masking fooled by the words and the shortcomings and actually the facts of saying the Washington Redskins being 10th in the league in rushing. And I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon, Lord. I spoke too soon. And because I spoke too soon, they went out there and everything I said for them to do, run the ball, that Bama went out there and didn't run the ball. And so at the end of the day, you know, when you don't run the football, then you got problems. And the Washington Redskins, when it came down to it, and you know, at the end of the day, they figured to run the football. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did I say that? Watch this. And I know some of y'all love Trent Williams. And if y'all remember, I think it was New Orleans that tried to trade for him. If I'm correct, somebody help me out. And if I recall, they were trying to trade him and somebody else for a second-round draft pick or something and some money or something, future draft picks or something. And I took a little slack from my former co-host about that because I said I would have let him go and just went on and started new. But hold on, and I love Trent Williams, workhorse for the Washington Redskins, but injury prone. Don't act like this just me running my mouth. It's on tape over the last 3-4 years. How many full 16-game seasons have Trent Williams played? When healthy, he's a beast. When 80%, he's a beast. But anything after that, man, it's like, Lord, help him, Lord. Hold on. Wait a minute. Go back to when training camp first started. Go listen to the tape. Morgan Moses. Morgan Chicken Leg Moses is what I call him. I said to the people, and I know for sure, good morning to big brother Randolph Stevens. We see you, champ, tuning in. We see you, big brother. Appreciate you so much. I told the people, I said this guarantee for sure. I was concerned with Morgan Moses getting all that money, and at the start of training camp, he's sitting there with knee braces on his legs. I told y'all that his ankles was heavily wrapped. Y'all think I'm lying. It's on tape. I said that this was going to be a problem in the long run. So if your mind is worried and your heart is troubled about what you seeing that's happening with the Washington Redskins, if you've been following and listening to the Sports Revival, I'm like the ghost of futures, of things that come. Things to come in the Christmas Carol. I told you that this was going to happen. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when you look at the scenario of what's happening with the Washington Redskins, yet and still, do I say be concerned? Do I say freak out? See that. Let's talk about what it is and how things is really going down in the DMV with the Washington Redskins. But look though, y'all, let's take a break. I've been talking this morning. What we gonna do, we gonna take this break, and when we come back, y'all, we gonna talk about this defense. I done broke down the offense side of the ball. We gonna go talk about this defense because I said some things about this defense. Well, let's take this break and take back. We sitting there live, y'all. Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. It's the Rev T Sports Revival. I'm Tavon Fennell at the real Rev T. Lace your boots up, strap them up real tight, and come on and march with me. Let's go, baby. Ow!
Network Radio.
Specialized custom design t-shirts. Our shirts range from infants to adult 5X. We make shirts for groups, churches, organizations, and we will do personalized shirts of your favorite sports team. If you mention the Rev T Sports Revival or Mountaintop Network Radio, you would get a 10% discount off your first order. You can reach us on Facebook at Rucker Apparel. You can email us at ruckerapparel@gmail.com, or you can even give us a call at 202-577-5903. Get your custom
Mountaintop Network Radio.
This is Maurice Wood with Ghostis Real Estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Washington metropolitan area, give me a call, 240-356-3580. When you do, mention Mountaintop Network Radio and receive a free CMA on your current home. Once again, this is Maurice Wood with Ghostis Real Estate. Give me a call today, 240-356-3580. Real estate is a relationship business. Let's build one.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
Crystal M. Adair on Mountaintop Network Radio, where the people's voice can be heard. I'm a motivational speaker and an author of the newly released Therapy, a memoir novella by Crystal M. Adair. Go click on Amazon right now. Get your 5-star copy with great reviews. I promise you, it's a book that will change your life. Again, Crystal M. Adair with Mountaintop Network Radio. Tune in again for my motivational minutes.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
This is Stephen Askins, host of the Inside Split. You can catch me Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. And we'll break down the Thursday night game, talk about the Sunday games, give you injury and fantasy pointers. So tune in Sunday morning, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
They said I'll be hollering and screaming. They said I could never talk good sports radio.
What you talking about, huh?
But I told them.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
So I found out.
It's a transmitter. It's a radio for speaking.
So I saw the light talking sports radio.
I have
So I thought about starting Rev T Sports Revival.
By George, he's got it. By George, he's got it.
People are saying
You can see how you have progressed in the show, and I'll tell you what, man, it shows. I mean, it totally shows.
and our callers are saying this.
Right? Man, what you think about the Rev T Sports Revival? Oh, no. The show seems really good. You seem like you have a lot of fun. This is why I called in, and you both know your sport. So it's always fun talking to people that know their sports. That's why I like to call in whenever I get a chance.
And after I introduce my guests, they say say,
For that big intro, I don't know whether to make you my agent or have you call my mom.
our guests are saying this.
Your broadcast always edifies and y'all were inspirational. You're unselfish. You don't whitewash anything. You deal with the real problems and issues, whether they popular or unpopular.
And they saying, I'm sounding like this great legend that had a mouthpiece in the radio business.
Man, you talking sports over there like TV Green, man. That's what I like about Red T Sports Revival.
But most of all, this.
Hey, Fred, what you think about the Rev T Sports Survival?
Hey, well, you tell them, Rev T, if they ears ain't used to great talk radio, they need to adjust. Because at the end of the day, being different ain't being wrong. It's just being who you are. They scared to be who they are. They probably shouldn't be listening to your show anyway.
Why tweet about it when you could talk about it on the Rev T Sports Revival? Believe that, baby. March with me.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, we sitting here live, y'all, right here, Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. I'm Savon Fennell, that's the real Rev T. I know some of y'all freaking out. I know some of y'all minds is weird. I know some of y'all hearts is a little bit troubled. And y'all seeing flashlights come. Bright lights just blinking in front of your eyes, man. Good morning to big brother Brian Langford, y'all, from the Brian Ain't Lying Show. Hey, man. Hey, listen here. I just heard he might be coming to the Mountaintop Network Radio DMV. That's all I got to say. But anyway, though, Brian say, man, you need a running back. Rob isn't the answer. Kirk is a good quarterback, but doesn't make great plays. Good morning to big brother Anthony Sanchez. And you know what, B? That's a good point. Because, once again, if you've been following the Sports Revival, I already told you going in the training camp that Rob Kelly, to me, wasn't the answer. Rob Kelly couldn't play a full season last year because of nick and nagging injuries that he had. And I still didn't believe that going into this season that he was the answer. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this name, Mac Jones. But I mean, hey. And at the end of the day, poor Samaje Perine, they done just laid that young boy down by the riverside. Did he get in the game? Was he on the active roster? Hell no. You know why? Because he got the Mac Jones curse on his shoulders. And at the end of the day, when you think about this, and at the end of the day, when you look at this scenario, no, we ain't got no premier running back. And the thing is, I know everybody say Chris Thompson is the answer, but how much do you want to beat up on somebody's body that done had a broken back, that done had nagging injuries over the year, and this is, like one of the best years of his NFL career that he's having. And I know you say you want to work him because he's a workhorse, but at the end of the day, though, he needs some relief. And if Rob Kelly is going to continue to go out there and put up 7 and 16 for rushing, it's not like Rob Kelly didn't do this before this year. It's not like Rob Kelly is the big reason why the Redskins was 10th in running the ball prior to this game. Bring Mac Brown up. Or go get one of those veterans running backs that's sitting laying down by the riverside trying to get in the fit in that Mike can come in and help contribute on the now versus the later. Because at this point, the inability to move the football with the run, it doesn't make any sense at all. I saw a comment up here. Where was it at? It was a comment about the... Jerry Sutton say our running back couldn't get into a flow. If he gets 8 yards on the first down, then you pass on then you pass on second and third down, and 1 yard twice near the 50-yard line doesn't make sense to me. A coach would play call like that, this man, but at the end of the day, I'm ready for those Cowboys. And I agree with you, Jerry Sutton, because before I really go into this defense, I really want to talk about the coaching on both sides of the ball. If you know the game of football, if you notice in the first half, the Washington Redskins, as far as the defense and the coaching, they played a lot of man set coverages. Did y'all see that? Because I that's what I recall. And honestly, I haven't had the chance to go back and look at the game again. Soon as I get off the air, I'm going to sit there with my cigars in my cup, and I'm going to sit there and watch this game again. But at the end of the day, the Washington Redskins' inability as far as the defense and the coaching, you know, you was playing man coverage, but then you switched to this zone type coverage. And as soon as they went to that zone type coverage, well, all hell broke loose, and the Philadelphia Eagles had some success. Hold on. I got an Eagles fan at the door. Is that an Eagles fan? No, that ain't no Eagles fan. No, but at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't really make sense. And when it comes down to it, and you look at the scenario of this game with the Washington Redskins and these Philadelphia Eagles, the defense couldn't get Philadelphia off the field on third down. And guess what? The Washington Redskins offense, they couldn't stay on the field on third down. In more ways than one. But this defense, though, y'all, the coaching, though, you got to stay consistent in what you've been successful in. And I saw the coaching shy away from that. Just like you saw Jay Gruden once again, when they get down and the chips are down and everything, you know, looks like that they about to lose, you always see Jay Gruden shy away from the run. And I have given Jay Gruden high praise over the year for committing to the run, more so than he has done in years past. But last night, we saw the Jay Gruden of old on the offense. But also last night, we saw the defense of old. And for all the pomp and circumstance that we've been giving DJ Swearinger, last night he got beat bad on a couple of plays. And for all this praise, for all the pressure that the defensive line put on Wentz last night, I don't give a damn how many times they was right by him. I don't give a damn if they got a flag because one of the Eagles offensive linemen decided he wanted to hold on to somebody a little bit while longer. The defensive line for the Washington Redskins should have cashed that check last night. Because they had it in their hand, it was signed, it was sealed, it was delivered, it was theirs for the taking. And for whatever reasons it was, however it panned out to be, they couldn't cash that check on the defense last night when it came to playing these Philadelphia Eagles on third down. Oh, they was in Carson Wentz's face. Oh, yeah, they was there. But at the end of the day, though, they could not cash the check in with finishing him and disrupting him completely. And when you look at this scenario and you talk about the defense, another thing that was a big difference in this game was the Washington Redskins offensive line versus the Washington Redskins defensive line. The offensive line of the Washington Redskins was beat by a four-man rush by the Philadelphia Eagles for the majority of the game, except for when they sent them all-out blitzes that Washington couldn't stop and beat on third down. But hold on, here's the flip side for the Eagles. The Washington Redskins was bringing five and four-man set pressure on Carson Wentz and still couldn't get to him. But hold up, wait a minute. Let's talk about some of y'all that was crying about Junior Gillette was fit. No. We started to see signs of Junior Gillette last night reemerging again. So I'm not too much concerned. Junior had 4 tackles and 1 assist last night and a half a sack. But at the end of the day, though, what hurt this Washington Redskins defense, what really put them in the shock and awe, what really put them in the funk was the Washington Redskins defense couldn't get the Philadelphia Eagles off the football field on 3rd down. And what it led to was an Elliott field goal, an Aguilar touchdown, a Clemens touchdown, a Ertz touchdown, a Hollins touchdown. So, you know, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done for, the Washington Redskins, this game as a whole, it wasn't done in necessarily by Cousins. It wasn't necessarily done in by the defense. It was done in by injuries that crept up on us. It was done in by the inability of being able to stay on the field for the offense for the Redskins on 3rd down. And it was the inability of the defense to get the Philadelphia Eagles offense, Carson Wentz and company, off the field on 3rd down. How do I know? How do I know this? Because I'm not running my mouth. Let's just go to the tape. 50% 3rd down conversions going against 33% 3rd down conversions. That's the Washington Redskins. See the difference in that? 4-12 on 3rd down conversions versus 6-12 on 3rd down conversions. You want to know the tail of the tape when it came down to it with the Washington Redskins. They came into the game being the 10th ranked defense against the run. Overall in the NFL, they were exposed not so much by Blunt, not so much by Smallwood, but by the damn quarterback running the ball. And when you have the quarterback that's a leading rusher and you couldn't stop him, you wonder why Carson Wentz threw for 268 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception last night. I'm just saying. You wonder why that went down like it did last night. You wonder what was the cause of it all. Mike Underwood say we saw the arena football grew last night. Preston Smith was quiet. A.J. Val, there you go, in short, play calling and injuries. It caught up with us. And if you sitting there losing your mind over this game that happened last night, this loss against the Philadelphia Eagles, it hurts in the division. But guess what, though? Man, over the years, I seen teams like the Giants, I seen teams like the Bama Cowboys be in the same situation and find themselves right in the thick of things when it comes to the playoffs. Look, let's take a break. Let's take a break because some of y'all losing y'all mind right now. I don't think y'all want boogie no more. I'm Savon Fidel at the Real Red T. We live, y'all. Bounce up that radio. It's the Red T Sports Revival. We're going to take a break. When we come back, y'all, we will wrap this thing up. Get ready going up out here. Y'all ready? Let's go.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
Hey y'all, this is Claudette from Rucker Apparel, where we specialize custom design t-shirts. Our shirts range from infants to adult 5X. We make shirts for groups, churches, organizations, and we will do personalized shirts of your favorite sports team. If you mention the Rev T Sports Revival or Mountaintop Network Radio, you would get a 10% discount off your first order. You can reach us on Facebook at Rucker Apparel. You can email us at ruckerapparel@gmail.com, or you can even give us a call at 202-577-5903.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
from Russell
This is Maurice Wood with Golden Real Estate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Washington metropolitan area, give me a call, 240-356-3580. When you do, mention Mountaintop Network Radio and receive a free CMA on your current home. Once again, this is Maurice Wood with Golden Real Estate. Give me a call today, 240-356-3580. Real estate is a relationship business. Let's build one.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
Crystal M. Adair on Mountaintop Network Radio, where the people's voice can be heard. I'm a motivational speaker and an author of the newly released Therapy, a memoir novella by Crystal M. Adair. Go click on Amazon right now. Get your 5-star copy with great reviews. I promise you, it's a book that will change your life. Again, Crystal M. Adair with Mountaintop Network Radio. Tune in again for my motivational minutes.
Mountaintop Network Radio.
This is Stephen asking Joseph the Inside. You can catch me Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on Mountaintop Network Radio DMV. And we will break down the Thursday night game, talk about the Sunday game, give you injury and fantasy pointers. So tune in Sunday mornings, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on Mountaintop Network Radio DMV.
See, Redskin Nation, I tell it to the young, I tell it to the old, but you got to let that burgundy go fill up your soul. Now, here we stand, 2017.
We make it before we see it. You take it.
We live, y'all, right here on Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. I'm Ron Fidel at the Real Red Team. Right here on Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. Redskins making some people want to holler. Throw up your hands in the air. But listen here though, at 3-3, I'm not concerned. At 3-3, I'm not concerned about the situation or the position that the Washington Redskins are in right now. I know some of y'all been listening to the media and they want you to freak out because they saying, oh, the Washington Redskins, their schedule they got coming up. These next games is crucial for the Washington Redskins. And if they don't go out there and beat these games or whatever, then it's going to be all hell and high water for the Washington Redskins. Well, we got Dallas. We got to go at Seattle. And then we got Minnesota at home. And to be honest with you, I believe that we can beat the Dallas Cowboys, even in this loss to Philadelphia. And honestly and truthfully, I believe we can go beat the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle ain't nobody. They just in the midst of state of confusion just as much as the Washington Redskins are. And with Sam Bradford being down and Kingdom playing, he can be rattled in Minnesota. He can be rattled when they come to the DMV. So at the end of the day, when you look at these next 3 games, I'm not concerned about 2 of them. I just know they need to go out there and perform against these Dallas Cowboys. I know that the Washington Redskins need to go out there and get the job done against the Dallas Cowboys. That's where my focus is at this time. And if you're a Redskin fan, you're a true diehard Redskin fan, then your focus after the day, and there's nothing wrong with you being bitter or having bitter feelings about what happened last night in Philadelphia. It's nothing for your minds to feel weary and your hearts to feel a little bit trouble about what happened in Philadelphia last night. It's okay for your minds to be worried and your hearts to be a little bit troubled about the injuries that's going on with the Washington Redskins right now. The season injuries with key players in fact with the Washington Redskins. It's okay. It's okay for your mind to be weary and your heart to be a little bit troubled, because the ghost that possessed Carlos is in the Washington Redskins locker room with the wide receivers. Terrell Pryor. Ryan Grant. It's okay. But see, what's so special and what's so great is that at the end of the day, that there is tomorrow. And if you a true Washington Redskin fan, if you a true believer of the burgundy and gold, you can't just be believing in Kirk Cousins. You just can't be believing in the Terrell Pryor. You just can't be believing in the defense with DJ Swearinger, with Josh Norman, with Preston Smith. Listen here, with Junior Gillette. You just can't be believing in them. You got to believe in that burgundy and gold. That's what initiate. That's what excite. That's what fill up your soul. Because see, in the final minutes and in the final hours, in the wee hours late at night, I may not have been there. I may not have been in that land looking for a promise up in there in Philadelphia. But when the clock had ticked and it was 0, and the score was 24-34, and the Washington Redskins, they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. I was standing with a banner, with my blood-stained banner. I was standing, y'all. I was standing with the people. And I told them, believe, 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 believe. 3-3. They still got a chance. They still got time to set DC free. But if you sitting there and you beat and you dragging your feet about what happened yesterday as far as the Redskins, then tomorrow ain't gonna never come. Tomorrow ain't gonna never happen. What I'm trying to tell you is that everything is gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Tomorrow when I wake up and I start my day on a Wednesday, think about my family, my kids, my wife, my mama, my sisters. Yeah, I'm going to think about my Washington Redskins playing against the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, y'all, I'm Savon Fennell at The Real Red T. Y'all make sure y'all go to Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever it might fit you. Catch the latest show. I said catch. Catch the latest show at Sports Revival. Make sure you go on Twitter at Sports Revival, at The Real Red T. Give us a follow. Make sure you go like Red T Sports Revival on Facebook, Mountaintop Network Radio DMV on Facebook, at MTN Radio DMV on Twitter. Y'all give us a follow. Hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. Love somebody, love somebody, love somebody, y'all. Again, I'm Savon Fennell at The Real Red T. Hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Hail to the Redskins. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ow!